Welcome to Stories of Significance, a premier storytelling platform where we feature authentic personal stories with the aim of connecting, inspiring, and transforming the world one story at a time. And today, I am honored to host none other than Mr. Habel Mwakio, the CEO, CoastHolidayHomes. Good morning. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm fine. Good morning to you too.
Great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us who you are. Who are you as Mr. Habel Mwakio?
I'm the CEO of CoastHolidayHomes, a company that deals with furnished apartments, villas, and cottages across the coast. Because we started at the coast, and then now we are in the likes of Nairobi, Kisumu, Eldoret, Nakuru, Bungoma, Kakamega. Now that's the professional side. And I'm married to one wife, and we have 2 kids. And I'm a resident of Mombasa County.
All right. Let's go a little bit deeper. So, how did you get to start business in the hospitality industry, which I believe that you are in? Where did you get inspiration to start CoastHolidayHomes and be able to be resilient to grow that business thus far since 2017?
Okay. For me, I'm a tourism guide. I breathe in and breathe out tourism. I did a degree in tourism management at Moi University. And then later on, I did a master's degree in hospitality and tourism from Kenyatta University. Though I'm yet to complete my thesis, and my thesis most probably will be in the field that I'm in, that is the self-catering business. I started the business when I quit my full-time job as a lecturer at Mombasa Aviation Training Institute. I quit in 2016 and then started the business basically by 2017. That's when it started. It didn't peak until 3 years later. So the first 3 years was a real struggle, to be honest. It wasn't very easy. And part of the reason why I continued to soldier on into this business is because I'm passionate about it. I've always loved traveling. I've always loved tourism from way back. Even in high school, my favorite subject was geography. Yeah.
All right. So, by the time you were quitting lecturing, were you married?
I wasn't married yet, but I was in the process of the marriage process because we were about to pay dowry and so on and so forth.
So the question is, how come you quit a job where you are guaranteed income to start something you're not guaranteed about the future? Then 3 years down the line, there is struggle, but you still soldier on. Why that? Most people could quit.
And now the thing about it is I started thinking of doing something away from the teaching profession. The moment I started teaching in 2013, okay, and it's not as if I didn't enjoy teaching. I really love teaching, and my students they can bear me witness that I was one of the best lecturers because I used to teach with passion, teach from a professional point of view, and I would give it my all, be it in class and also during, let's say, the field work, that is when we're going for academic trips across the country and even outside the country. It just reached a point when I decided to do what I was doing part-time on a full-time basis. What I was doing then, I was doing tourism consultancy. Yes, and I said that I used to say to myself that I would do this on full-time basis. I didn't know when, but I remember I gave a promise to a group of my students that by the time you guys are finishing your diploma course, I'll be through with teaching. I'll get into the fieldwork of doing what I love best. Apart from teaching full-time there, I was also teaching part-time at Mo University Coast Campus. Yeah.
Okay, so most of the times, the adulthood life that we live has a connection to how we grew up. But I don't know if that is your story, but that's why I'm going to ask this question. The way you grew up, your childhood, has it contributed to the man that you are today?
Yes, it has, to a very huge extent. Now, for me, I'm the fifth born in a family of 6. I grew up in Mombasa, in Kongwea specifically. For those who know Kongwea, Maweni area, that's where we grew up.
Yes.
And being the fifth born, we have 5 boys and 1 girl. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, and
now I'm going to ask, who is the last one? The 6th, is it the guy?
no, it's not the girl. My sister is the 3rd born.
Yes.
And then I'm the 5th born, and then of course there's our last one. Now, how we grew up, we were very aggressive. Huh? You know, there was a lot of male energy around that you have to fight for yourself to be the best and all. And then we used to be encouraged by our parents that we are supposed to embrace education, and we have to study hard, and we have to give our very best. And I also thank my parents because they never dictated as much what I would do after high school. They just asked me, what do you want to do? Even my dad, I remember very well. Immediately after KCSE results were out and I passed well, he suggested that I should go to KMTC to do a medical course. But for me, I was done with biology because it was one of the units that or rather subjects that we did way back. In our high school, we used to be forced to do 3 science subjects.
Yes.
Out of the sciences, that is biology, physics, and chemistry. Out of the 3, I love chemistry the most. But I wanted to venture away from the science subjects. I wanted to do now something related to the best subjects that I loved, which was geography. And truth be told, I didn't think that I would be doing what I'm doing at the moment. But even when growing up, I used to be asked what I would want to do when I grow up. And the first thing then was to become a pilot. Now, when I was in high school, I remember my drawing and design teacher, Mr. Kichunju, advising me, now this is the reality. If you want to do piloting, this is the school fees, most probably that you need to pay. And looking at now the family background, I knew my parents were not able to pay for such an amount. It would cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Give it around 5 million shillings. So I was like, hey, okay. And we are 6 of us. By the time I was in high school, I think my elder siblings were either in college or university. So it just beat logic that I couldn't be sponsored to do my piloting course. So I looked for another thing to do that was still related to what I wanted to do. So I applied to do a bachelor's in tourism management. And I would say that was the best decision in terms of my career.
Oh, I must confess, you're not a typical son to an African parent, because I believe that most, even me growing up, I was very adamant about the courses I want to do. I don't care about where the finances are there, resources are there. I'm just adamant. But listening to you, you are kind of not a typical child to the parents.
Yeah.
And then now you've done the course in tourism. You have become a lecturer on it. Where did you really, at what point did you find and say, indeed, this is it your passion, by the way? If I may ask. You know, a lot of people are saying, find your passion if you want to live a happy life.
Yeah.
So is tourism your passion?
Yes, it is.
Now, at what point were you crystal clear that actually this is what I want to pursue? And I will pursue it by venturing fully into it, not just as a lecturer or a teacher on it. So at what point were you able to say with clarity that this is the path for me?
Okay. The specific point was just before we start our KCSE, we were given some of the courses that we can apply for at the various public universities. I did a soul searching, and then out of the close to 50 courses that were on offer, the only ones that were somehow attractive to me were anything related to tourism. So I would have either done tourism at Moi University, Maseno University, or Kenyatta University. At that time, those were the three universities that were offering a degree in tourism. Another course that I would have done, to some extent, I would have done statistics, because I was very good in mathematics in high school. But the drive towards doing tourism was stronger than doing anything related to mathematics or statistics. So tourism won it. Yeah.
Right. So you've been in the business since 2017. You have a family.
Yeah.
How is it running a business which is yours? You can get phone calls in the middle of the night. You have to check in clients in the odd hours.
Yeah.
How is it running a business such as this one, and being a husband and being a father at the same time?
Okay. Basically, it's dividing the day into portions. I wake up very early, prepare myself, and also prepare my daughter. My firstborn is 6 years old, to prepare her to go to school.
I noticed it as she was celebrating her birthday.
Yes, a few days ago, she just turned 6 years. I now drop her to school and then go all the way to town. I'm usually behind my office desk by, give or take, 7:15. I'm there, and I would now see what's happening on social media, because most of our work is on social media, be it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and also our website and all. I would say for my case, office hours run up to around 10 in the morning. By 11, my mind is already off. Off meaning now I'll have to be, let's say, reading the newspaper, making several phone calls and all. By 12, I'm out. My mind is already out of office. I think I've never been an office person.
Yeah.
And now the family side is, I try to juggle with it. There's a time that I would reach home early. Sometimes they're even home at 3 p.m. back home. Because at times I would reach home at midnight because of, let's say, we're checking in clients who checked in, or rather, landed at the airport, at Mombasa International Airport, let's say around 10. So they'll be at the apartment, give or take around 11, 11:30, depending with the activities. Sometimes the clients may decide to pass by an eatery and to have a bite. Or even sometimes they would pass by a club to eat and to drink, and then they come to the apartment. So now, because for us we have to be flexible, we have to wait for the clients, check them in, show them around the apartment or the villa or the cottage, and then once they're settled in, now we're good to go. Now that, of course, it has meant that I have to communicate with my wife prior. I will tell her there's the check-in that's happening at this time, either in Nyali or in Shanzo, in Twapa, if it's within Mombasa. And then once I've given her a heads up, she knows that she doesn't have to wait for me to, for us to eat together. She can actually, in fact, eat and even go to sleep. She doesn't have to wait for me, literally. Yeah.
And are you kind of in the same profession, or she's pursues something else as you pursue yours as well?
She's also a businesswoman.
Yeah.
She's working from home though. She sells different merchandise, be it clothes, shoes, home appliances like hot pots and all. And she has learned from me in terms of now selling on social media, be it WhatsApp, Facebook, or any other social media platform, that is TikTok or Instagram. And she's learning the ropes, because I told her if I've been able to do it, and as you can see, the business is sustaining the family, it means that you're also able to do it. Yeah, it was hard to convince her, because initially she was selling insurance premiums. Yes, and it was hard to convince her, but eventually she's learning the ropes, and I know she's headed in the right direction.
See, it's becoming a family of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Is there where your daughters are headed? They're becoming entrepreneurs soon.
You never know, but for me, I'm an open person. I would encourage them, whichever profession they'll go for. I would encourage my daughter and my son to choose whatever path they go for, because I believe that if they are passionate about the thing that they're doing, it's going to sustain them in the future, because it teaches a time that even for me, I struggle to even to wake up to go to work, and the reason why I would get off my bed and go to work is, I love doing what I'm doing, and the impact that it's having in the society. Because now for us, it's not only about the money, but also the impact, because through our work we are able to sustain several families, be it housekeepers, be it chefs, be it the askaris, anyone else. For example, if let's say anything breaks down in the apartments or the villas, any of these experts can find work. Be it people who are handling the door locks, or the technician who handles the refrigerator, the electrician, and so on and so forth. Everyone will find something to do, and they'll get a livelihood out of it. Yeah.
So there is that impact, as much as there is the money and all that, there is that impact that your business is creating.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that a lot of people in Mombasa especially are doing the same business that you are doing. They're in the tourism industry. So what makes you stand out? What makes you unique in your business to actually even run your family using that business alone? So what makes you stand out? What's the unique thing about you and CoastHolidayHomes?
Okay. Well, that's a deep question. Number one, there's nothing unique about us. I totally believe, I'm a believer of having a personal relationship with God. and they believe that it's God who has made me to reach where I am. It's not according to my effort. As I've told you, I struggled for 3 solid years when I was setting up the business. Apart from God, also there's the hard work part. I wake up very early in the morning. I sometimes sleep late. I'm usually hands-on with the clients. I don't, even if I delegate to my colleagues at work, I would still make sure that I'll have to pass by the apartment to say hi to the clients, to have that personal relationship, because either they know CoastHolidayHomes or they know Habel Mwakio.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to pass by, say hi, and so on and so forth. And also one of the things that has really made us to grow is to listen to criticism and to respond to it accordingly.
Yeah.
For example, some people are wary of the fact that nowadays you can be conned online. So one of the ways that we have made sure that people trust us is we have a website, www.coastholidayhomes.co.ke. We're also on social media on all platforms. We have office lines. We have professional staff who cater for the clients. And very important, we have a physical office.
Yeah.
So in case of anything, they can actually come to our physical office at Mombasa Mombasa Memorial ACK Cathedral, that is. And then they can bring up anything, be it suggestions, complaints, and so on and so forth. And we are ready and up to task to listen to such and to solve them.
All right. So, being the man that you are today, from my personal perspective, I feel no man is self-made.
Yeah.
I feel like for you to be where you are today, for me to be where I am today, there is somebody who believed in me and gave me an opportunity to show what I have got. So looking at your life, who are these few people that have made you the person that you are today?
Okay. Number one, I would say it's my parents. I'm blessed, and I know that I'm blessed too, because now then both my parents are alive.
Yes.
And we still keep in touch, and I pass by, say hi, and so on and so forth. Both of them, they really impacted me, because when business wasn't doing well, I would pass by my father's workshop. My father used to be an engineer at Bamburi Cement, and then he decided to have his own workshop. He's an hydraulics engineer. Anything hydraulics is the go-to guy. So somehow it's a similar path, because when he was at Bamburi Cement, he used to do, it as a part-time thing.
Yes.
And when he was retrenched, I believe he was retrenched by the time he was 40 years. He just jumped onto this other bandwagon, and he continued his life as if nothing happened. So when it comes to matters business, he used to encourage me a lot. In fact, he even called me and asked me, "Hey, do you have food on the table? In case of an emergency, do you have some money that you have kept for any eventuality?" My mom will also call mothers.
Yes.
We are all our mothers' babies.
Yes.
Even if you reach 80 and she's still alive, she'll call you her baby. Now she'll also be concerned, how are the kids? How is your wife? Everything okay? How can we help? And so on and so forth. They have been a very huge support to me. And then, of course, my siblings, they would ask me, have you paid rent? You know, you have money for, overheads and so on and so forth. My wife also, she would encourage me, of course, giving me the emotional support, making sure that there is food, hot food, to be precise. They say a hungry man is an angry man. So reaching home and you're welcome with hot food, that's awesome. It's somehow a stress reliever, and you're able to do more, and you start again tomorrow as if you didn't fail the previous day.
Yeah. Wow. You can see the parents, your siblings, as well as your wife. As I said,
and also friends. There are also some close friends that really encouraged me. Others rebuked me. Others also, were skeptical.
Yes.
Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure you're doing the right thing? Boss, you will suffer. They also contributed somehow, because now I would use that criticism to fuel me to go towards what I want to do. And some of them have hosted them in their villas and their apartments.
Wow.
Years later, they're like, finally you made it. Huh? Let me promote you.
Talking of criticism, everyday life, you hear a lot of people who don't like criticism. Actually, they take it as somebody does not support them. They don't take it as feedback for them to improve. I am shocked that you have a different view about criticism. What informed you to have that kind of a mindset when it comes to criticism? Or why do you view criticism that way?
No.
It sounds odd.
Criticism
You're not a typical human being.
Yeah. Criticism is feedback.
Yes.
Though negative, but if you turn it up to something that will propel you to your goals, it will be something positive out of it. Yeah. So, for example, I remember when I was starting up, people used to pay me via my M-Pesa number. So some would, be like, "Hey, you want me to send you money via M-Pesa? Aren't you one of these conmen online?"
Yes.
That's a criticism right there.
Yes, it is.
And I was like, okay, how do I, fill this gap? I've actually been called a conman. So how do I make sure that the clients entrust me, and they can pay me and relax, and they know that everything is well? So now registering the company, having a bank account, having different modes of payment. Now for us, we have like all modes of payments. Payment via paybill, payment via the clients can swipe their cards. We have several PDQ machines. We can also send clients payment links.
Yes.
We haven't done pochi la biashara, but I wouldn't mind doing that, because now for us, we're like, any way that makes the client feel comfortable in entrusting us with their financial resources, we're going to embrace it. Yeah. And also, I remember there's a particular client who was referred to us through a friend of mine that we grew up with. And then the client was like, "I can't pay any deposit payment. I'll pay when I reach there. In fact, my stay is three nights stay. I'll pay after staying for 3 nights, the way hotels do." Now with self-catering apartments, it's different. You pay a deposit payment to secure the booking, and then once you check in, you are supposed to finish the balance, and then you enjoy your stay. And she threw a spanner into the works and said, "In fact, for me, I don't carry cash, and I don't have M-Pesa. I'm a Kenyan, yes, but I live in the States. Do you have a PDQ machine? I'm going to swipe my card." At that time, I didn't have. Within a week, I had to have one.
Yes.
Because of that challenge that was put across to me. It really hurt me that I lost that particular business because she didn't give me the business. She ended up staying in a hotel, one of the hotels in Mombasa. I took it up as a challenge, and I have at the moment I have two from Pesapal and from Equity Bank. Yeah.
So criticism is something that we need to use in a positive way so that we can grow ourselves. And if we have businesses, probably build our businesses using it.
Yeah.
And I think that is how we turn failure into success. But I now ask, have you experienced failure?
Countless times. I think if there's a poster boy for failure,
I feel like you need to list some of these failures so that maybe you can inspire me.
I told you, I started as a tourism consultant.
Yes.
So that means I would approach different people, companies, and pitch to them what I do, especially now the restaurants, hotels, tour companies, and I tell them that this is the way to go. If you need more advice, now pay us, and then we're going to offer these services to you. When I was a when I was a full-time lecturer, it wasn't an issue. They used to give me business. Now, when I decided to do full-time, hey, that's when the rubber met the road, literally. Yes. Because now what happened, business became scarce. Yeah. And remember, I was newly married. And I'm glad that we were blessed. We were expecting our firstborn at the same time. So you can imagine the stresses,
So
that was
double blessing somewhere, and some things not working out on the other side.
Some things not working on this other side. It was very hectic. I think for men, it's something. I would say it's something that you have to. It's a cross that you have to carry, and I will encourage any man, maybe even passing through such a situation at the moment. I will encourage them that it's possible to get out of that particular tunnel, that tunnel that looks very dark. If I did it, or rather, if God did it for me, it's possible for them to get out of that particular situation. Yeah. So challenges are there. So I did that, and then I started a tour. I wanted to be a entrepreneur, so I opened a company that dealt with general supplies. I applied in every place. Parastatals, the county government, be it Mombasa, Kilifi, Taita Taveta, Nairobi County. Imagine, I was that ambitious. So the money that I used, when you're applying for these tenders, the money that you use is not small money.
Yes.
And you also have to use courier services, G4S services, to go straight to the door.
Yes.
And deliver the documents that you want to, in order for you to get the job. It failed.
I'm sure no response came to.
No response came to. I never did business of tendering with that particular company. But when clients started to come in through now the holiday business, and they wanted to pay via a bank, I didn't have extra money to come up with a company that deals specifically with the apartment side. So what did I do? I used the general supplies company for 2 years. So people are like, you're dealing with the holiday business, but the receipt that you're giving me is for general supplies. What's happening here? So I had to explain to them, There's some who would understand that those who understand branding, they would be like, no, set aside some money, do this thing in a good way. So I did it. After some time, I saved some money, and then now I have two companies, both limited companies, the general supplies one and this other one that deals specifically with the holidays. Yeah.
I know you for the holidays.
Yeah.
The other one, I've just known it through this conversation.
Oh yeah.
But let's look back when you were growing up, or say as you are at the moment.
Yeah.
If you were to go back and relive a certain moment that you feel that that moment was quite transformational, which moment would you like to relive in your life, looking at the past?
That's very interesting. No, for me, I've always been a bookworm from rather primary school. If you ever met someone who's self-motivated, now that's me.
Yes.
Uh, I've always been a person who would just take it upon myself to do things on my own. Like I would supervise myself from primary school. I remember class 6, class 7, class 8. Even after primary school, I applied to be taken into a Lidina Vistram High School. And then when I joined high school, I don't remember my parents asking for my report card. It's not as if they didn't care. Because later on I asked them, why weren't you concerned? Because in high school, what I used to do, I would, at the end of the term, after getting the results, I would do a self-evaluation. And then, for example, if I got, let's say, 480 marks, I would give a target of getting 520 marks the following term. And I would say, okay, if in mathematics I got, let's say, 67, I would say, next term I want to get 75. I would add more marks until it reaches the 520 marks target that I want. And I did it from Form 1, Form 2, up to when I finished high school. And even in campus, I remember after campus, I was like, I confronted my parents and I asked them, what if the school fees that you used to give me, I ate, like some of my campus mates did?
Yes.
There are some of them that never graduated. There are those who decided to become entrepreneurs while we were still in campus. They were selling eggs in the hostels, eggs, airtime, and many other things. So I asked them, well, how comes you never, bothered to supervise me and all? Then they told me, from a young age, I just showed that I was self-motivated. The people whom the human resource guys love the most. You can work under minimal supervision.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm those type. That once you give me, these are the targets, this is the way to do the work, I'll just do it. So they told me that you showed such a character from the get-go. So we have never been worried about how we go about life, how we turn out. Even in business, now the only place they were concerned was when business wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
That was the time I was like, what's happening here? All of a sudden they are very concerned. My dad was the type where he would call once in a month. Now he's calling thrice or 4 times in a week. Okay, what's happening here? One thing that I would go back to is reading more novels or reading more books and writing more. I also love writing, creative writing.
By the way, I normally see your posts on Facebook. I wonder, how did you think of this anyway? I always see a lot of comments, a lot of laughter.
Yeah.
They are humorous as well.
Yeah.
And I wonder what inspires you. So I was waiting for an opportunity to put you on the spot. And this is the opportunity. You know, what inspires whatever you write on Facebook. And I feel you need to write a book. And if you can't write a book, you can pay me, I'll help you write a book.
Okay. I've always wanted to write a book, by the way, from primary school.
Yes.
Even the title of the book, I came up with it from primary school. The sky is but a limit. That is the title of the book.
Yes.
But the sky is but a limit is going to be an autobiography. But where my heart beats, it's basically the creative writing, coming up with memes. We even have a Facebook group the Facebook group called Thriving Meme Lords. Yeah. I'm not the founder member, but I'm amongst the people who contribute a lot in the group, and come up with stuff. Sometimes I also borrow or share some of the things that I see that are hilarious from other setups, and then I share. What I would honestly do more is write more short stories. I did it when during COVID times, when there was a lockdown, the 4 months lockdown in the country. I used to write articles in the year 2020 every day for how many days? I think for 90 or 100 days. Every day I used to write an article, and it was a continuous story. People would laugh. People would be like, "Hey, why have you left us hanging, in suspense," and so on and so forth. I think I'll find time. One of the things that I want to do starting the new month, I want to go back to. I'll share less memes and start writing more stories and such. Yeah.
I look forward to your article once you start doing like weekly newsletters.
Yeah.
A few pages, and you have
Yeah.
a section where so you can share your meme, you can share your short story.
Yeah.
And I believe that's also one way of us passing the baton to the next generation.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, do you have a motto in your life? Do you have something that you always use to remind yourself of where you're going? Do you have a vision? What is it that you have that keeps you going? You cannot just be, even a car needs a fuel. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes. Even the camera needs us.
Yeah.
Without us, there is no camera.
Yeah.
Doesn't have reason. So what is it that you have? Is a motto? Is it a mission? What is it that keeps you going as Habel, apart from the responsibilities that can also push you? The responsibilities of a father, the responsibilities of a husband could push you. But what is it that pushes you, as much as you're self-motivated? What is it that pushes you to keep going?
To be a better version of myself. I believe that I'm competing against myself.
Yeah.
So every year I put targets. Some are usually very unrealistic, honestly. And I push myself towards achieving those targets. One of the themes that what are the slogans that motivate me in life? I even have sort of a signage of it in my office. Never give up, because giving up isn't an option. In this world, it's very competitive. It's very hard on all of us. No one is special in this world. You have to work hard. You have to wake up early. You have to work hard. Even when you feel like you don't want to work, you have to work. And because I also want the best in life, I have to work towards achieving those goals. Yeah. So there's no shortcut about it.
So it's been nice hosting you today and listening to your story. But I know there is a message that you have that you would like to tell somebody who is watching this video, somebody who is listening to the podcast part of it. It could be young, it could be old. So I will request if you could look at the camera straight to this camera and share your inspiration to the person who is watching. What is it, the one thing, or what is the inspiration that you can give them through your own story? And bear in mind, I made a joke when we were climbing upstairs that this morning when I put you on the status, somebody commented that this guy. So I was shocked by such a response. So I had to call the person and I said, "What do you mean by this?" Because if the response was negative, I was to cancel the interview. But then again, the feedback was, I hope this guy shares how far he has grown. So also to do a service to that person. So inspire the people who do research. What is it that you would like them to pick from you? Over to you. I can also smile before you share.
To that person who is about to give up on life, don't. There's more to life. Be it in business, be it in marriage, be it in school. Give it your best shot. For those who are setting up businesses, I would say if your business has been in existence, let's say for a couple of months and it's not doing well, you can re-strategize. Maybe you can start up another business. But I would say any business that it's worth mentioning, it's you have to give it 3 years. I use my example because I took 3 years to really now be able to be comfortable doing business, pay off overhead costs on time. I used to be, you can imagine, for 3 years I used to be to pay rent late for 3 whole years. Those are 36 months. Never give up in life. Look at now me. Now I've been featured by the newspaper like more than 10 times now. Be it the Daily Nation, the Standard newspaper, the People Daily. Coming soon, I'll be the Star also, the Star newspaper. Coming soon, the East African, one of the newspapers that I really want to be featured on. The Business Daily also, they have asked me to give them something out of it. Now, if I've been able to reach where I am, you who is watching is able to do so. I've not told you that when business wasn't doing well, I used to tarmac from, I used to stay in Shomoroni. I used to tarmac from Shomoroni to town, the office, for 3 months. That is in the morning, in the evening. In the morning, I would be like, by 6 on the dot, I would be at Kengeleni, crossing over. By 6:30, thereabout, I would be in town already. By 7, all the sweaters evaporated and I'm good to go to do work. And then I would get out of work at around 7. When, during darkness, people are not able to see you as you're crossing over the bridge. At that time, it used to be a very humbling experience. I remember that time I was like, okay, what if I meet some of my former students, that ego of a lecturer, my former students seeing me working here, they're wondering, so just go back and teach. You're being paid well there. Why are you doing this? I was doing it because of the passion that I had, of the vision that I had. I knew that my future is bright, but I need to shed off now that darkness thing, darkness feeling that I was having at that point. And voila, 7 years on now, this is me. And it's the product. I'm a product of God, and I'm a product of hard work.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my guest today, Habel Mwakio. Our story will be premiering soon, and we look forward to other stories that will feature as we keep on sharing stories of significance. And the mission and purpose of stories of significance It is to share with you stories of outliers in the community, amidst of people complaining, amidst of people crying. There are people doing something differently, and they are doing it significantly. And those are the stories that we will keep bringing to you. I have been your host, Otumbo Vincent. Till next time, see you there.